Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sebastian, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We'll cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we'll give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. So this is going to be a show that's going to get a lot of people talking. Let's get straight into it. SGA, man. SGA, in certain ways, is getting exposed. I hate to say it. SGA won his second regular season MVP award back-to-back. I thought Victor should have won, but I did congratulate SGA when he won. But prior to him winning this award, or after he won this award, and even during the process of him winning it, it was like, oh, does it remind you of Kobe? And all. I'm like, no, he doesn't remind me of Kobe Bryant at all. No. There's a very few players, like, no. Right? He may have certain similarities in terms of the way he chooses to score on the court, but no. Kobe was a much more ferocious animal. He had more energy. He played all NBA first team caliber defense. Kobe made 9 all defensive teams. He was a much more ferocious finisher, a much better scorer, had a much wider arsenal of scoring. And Kobe was putting up 35 a game when teams were scoring 95 points per game, man. Like, what y'all want me to do? Be impressed with something I'm not supposed to be impressed by? Yes, it's great. He's averaging 30 in an era where you can't touch people. If Kobe can put up 35 when teams were averaging 95, what do you think he'll average in this? Kobe would average over 40 points per game. And his field goal shooting percentage will go up because you can't touch him. You cannot touch him, literally. And if you're telling me you can't touch, like that's like saying you can't touch Michael Jordan and he has open lanes. He doesn't even have to contend with bigs. Like he would demolish this league, right? So I never bought into that. And I put up a comment on the channel not too long ago when I wrote, I said, putting SGA on the same level of Kobe's level is laughable. He's not even a better player than prime Kawhi Leonard. If you're not elite on both sides of the ball, you will never be on Kobe's level. I have never seen the coach take Kobe off the floor for defensive purposes. And almost everyone agreed with me. But the larger conversation is becoming about SGA's style of play, with him insisting to flop. And he's actually losing a lot of supporters based on his play style. For better or for worse, you can't control how people are going to feel about you. If you don't want people to stop talking about your flopping, then stop flopping. If you're going to say it's part of the game, then the criticism is a part of it too. You can't have it both ways. You can't be flopping all over the court and then tell people to appreciate greatness. No, people don't think that's greatness. People find that to be disgusting. But here's the most important part. In the regular season, SGA averaged 31 points, 4 rebounds, 6.6 assists, right? Spectacular numbers. Now, if we look at his regular season splits, oh no, these are the playoffs. So in the regular season, he shot 55% from the field, 38.6% from 3, 88% from the free throw line. In the playoffs, he's shooting 45%. So his field goal shooting percentage dropped by almost 8 percentage points, 29% from 3. So his three-point shooting percentage dropped about 8 percentage points, while his free throw shooting percentage is what? His free throw shooting percentage is 89.8. But here's what's even more startling: his Western Conference Finals numbers. He's averaging 24 points per game, 8.8 assists, 2.7 rebounds, but shooting 38% from the floor and 26% from the 3. 26%. The last game he played was the lowest scoring game of the year. And now we're at the point where we have people like Chris Broussard saying that if former Commissioner David Stern was still here, he would have implemented a flopping rule. And he was essentially saying in these clips that the NBA should consider putting in a flopping rule. Even Nick Wright was coming up with various ways to do it because something has to be done for this. SGA's not the only one, but he's probably the most prominent one doing it. So I'm like, when this is beginning to become the narrative, you know you're losing the plot here. But before we can get into these sound bites, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, PrizePicks. All right, guys, the regular season is wrapped up and the NBA playoffs are finally here. And there's no better way to cash in on all of the high-flying hoop action than PrizePicks, a preferred partner of the NBA. Every bucket, every dime, every win means when you're making lineups on PrizePicks. And here's something you didn't want to sleep on. PrizePicks has the Do It Live 2026 NBA Finals sweepstakes going on right now. Make a $5 lineup with at least one live NBA player pick during the playoffs, and you could win a trip for two to the NBA Finals. That alone is reason enough to check out PrizePicks right now. I've been making lineups on the Celtics and Lakers players, and it makes watching the playoffs so much more fun. It's simple. Just pick more or less on player projections across basketball, baseball, hockey, and more. You can even pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup with stacks. And if your picks get off to a hot start, cash out early with easy payouts before the game even ends. PrizePicks is now available in all 50 states. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, a preferred partner of the NBA. All right, perfect. So what we want to do is we're going to play both of these clips together. We're probably just going to combine them, and then we're going to come back and then continue on with the show. Take a listen to what these guys had to say here.
Okay, what do you make of Shea struggles? I mean, he didn't get to the line and he had nothing else going. And it is games. I understand that KW, you and I, absent. We weren't texting during the game. But for some reason, I this morning was thinking about another player, and the first other player you mentioned to me was the same guy. It is games like last night and series like this where I know one guy has the MVPs and one guy has a championship and one guy has a finals MVP and the other guy has none of the above, where I struggle with the idea that that player is better than Luka. I'm like, Luka doesn't have that game. And if he is not scoring, he can impact the game other ways, at least with his passing, and he just doesn't have 15-point playoff games. And we can say, well, Shea doesn't either usually, but that's not entirely true. Shea never has bad regular season games. But in the last 2 years in the playoffs, this is a stunning number. I've shown it to you a few times. We keep adding to it. Scoring less than 20. 0 times in the last 140 regular season games. This is the graphic that I know we have. And 6 of his last 37 playoff games. And when we get upset about some of the falling down, which, except for one sequence yesterday, I thought he did a more honorable job of. But he didn't get the calls, and this postseason, his dominance has been tied directly to getting the calls. In games this year where he doesn't hit more than 8 free throws. Again, it's not like 8's a small number. Mm-hmm. If he has 8 or fewer, he's 21 a game on 41% from the field. More than 8, he's the MVP again. And as far as this series, Brew, an MVP.
Well, you stop it. And its field goal percentage goes up more, too.
Yeah, because
just seeing the ball.
No, I don't think it can be a rhythm.
I think a rhythm. Here's my other theory on it. So, the games where he's not getting to the line, it's 0 for 0 if you get fouled on a shot. It's missed shots, you know what I mean? The missed shot kind of comes off your resume, off your ledger, if you will. But this series, his inefficiency is nearing, for MVPs in a series, historic levels. Lowest field goal percentage in a series by that season's MVP. It's the 4th lowest, and Iverson and Rose, while great players, were inefficient players. You know, so like, you know what I mean? Their calling card was not 50+% from the field. Yeah. So while those were inefficient, Shea's drop is drastically larger than theirs are.
I'm just going to keep it real. David Stern, this wouldn't be happening under David Stern. Like Stern put in, well, I don't know if Stern put in the flopping rules or not, but they're not being enforced.
There needs to be public embarrassment associated with it. If guys knew that for a true, not selling a call, but true acting, true like I was not touched and I fall over, that I can be suspended a game for that. It ends. It's a flop challenge. Separate group of challenges. We say he flopped. If it is, it goes on your record. We have stats of it. People will say, oh my God, this guy leads the league in flops.
So you heard what they had to say. So look, here's where we are with this, with SGA. This is about to become SGA's legacy. Flopping is going to be coming. Especially if he loses. Because now people are saying he's a totally different player in the regular season, but in the playoffs, there's a considerable drop-off. And the elite guys get better in the finals. In the playoffs. I don't care how many MVPs SGA wins. You can never compare him to a player like, for instance, Michael Jordan. All of MJ's numbers go up in the playoffs. He averages 33 a game. For his career, he averages 30. Kobe got better. LeBron, to a certain extent, got better. So these guys get better. You can't be regressing. And when you look at these games, it almost looks like the determining factor for whether or not SGA is an MVP caliber player or just a really, really good player is free throws. That's crazy. That is crazy. You got to be able to impact the game in more ways if you're not hitting your free throws. Look at Game 7 in the 2010 finals when Kobe wasn't shooting well. He got 15 rebounds. If SGA is not getting to the free throw line, what is he doing? You need to be assisting the ball at the high level. You need to be playing defense, but there's certain points in the game where they even take SGA off the floor because he's a defensive liability. Are you kidding me? And y'all think that this guy is the MVP over Victor Wembanyama when Victor is the most impactful player in basketball? Are you joking? Even if Victor's offense isn't going, he's still impacting the game in a major way because of his defensive presence and prowess. So to me, man, this is what's being said. And I think the only way that this is going to change is if SGA steps up, for instance, tonight, puts on a fantastic performance, then it will start going away. But this is exposing to you why people shouldn't put so much value in MVPs, because it doesn't give you the full picture. For whatever reason, people use regular season MVPs to hold it over other players. Like, well, he has 2 or 3 MVPs. So therefore what? Steve Nash has 2 MVPs. What does that mean? Nash has more MVPs than Shaq, Kobe, Kawhi Leonard. Like, what is, I think Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook. Is anybody saying Kyrie Irving? Is anybody saying Steve Nash is better than these guys? Hell no. Hell no. So that's my take on it. Whatever you guys think, leave it in the comments when we catch you on the next show. Peace.